The fossils in my collection today look nothing like they did when they were first found. This series is a chance to look at the fossils before and after preparation and introduce you to my digital fossil collection that will feature many of the fossils that have been found on this channel.
Well, good evening and welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different. Obviously it's good evening, so that gives you an indication. I am struggling to find time to do all of the filming, but I've also got these lovely things back from prep, so I thought we need to make a video and show them all off. I've got 3 bits of bone that have all been prepped by Imanya Prep. I might get the pronunciation wrong. It's I believe one of the Namibian languages. The preparator Alison Park and Oliver Weeks. Yeah, that's their background, and I do apologise if I butchered the language in my pronunciation, but they are doing prep work and they are specialists in bone, so I thought I would send some bits to them and see what they can do with it. So I'm excited to show these off for you. In addition to the bits of bone, we've got a few bits of ammonites that I've been prepping. They're nothing special, they've still got some finishing to do, but it's just to show you that I am back out in the shed intermittently when I've got some time, which is not very often, but I'm hoping to start getting some more videos of my stuff prepped out to show off as well, and maybe some live videos, but that might still be some time away. Right, not what I came down here for, and definitely surprising. It's my second vertebra for the day. This one looks like it might actually be from quite a bit higher up, so that could be quite an interestingly rare one, because that almost looks like the sandy matrix that it's in rather than the grey hard limestoney stuff. So that could be a really high up Ichthyosaur vert. Nice, 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 nice. First things first, this lovely vertebra. This was found at Ravenscar, as were the others, but it's a beautiful little Ichthyosaur vertebra, probably the nicest of the ones to show off today, sadly, with a bit of rib attached to it. The matrix that you can probably just see a little bit of there is quite sandy, and it was found in the second bay at Ravenscar, which makes me think that it's probably quite high up in the sequence, if not blue-white, getting towards the very top of the sequence there. So it makes it probably quite unusual and quite rare. And we can also tell from the shape of it where roughly in the body it comes from. So the bits up here, this is where the neural arches attach, and so the spinal cord would run through where my index finger is here. And the shape here, these bits at the side, if you look at relative position of these, they move around. So towards the front of the body, they're near the front, near the top, and as they go further back, they slide down towards the bottom. And that will become important in one of the next ones to show off. So the body position of this one is what we'd likely call the dorsal section, or the upper thoracic, or the upper trunk, depending on your preference for language, but basically the chest region, which then makes sense if you think about it with ribs. Where do you find ribs in your body? In your chest section, and that's roughly where this vertebra will come from. So a beautiful, beautiful little vertebra, and a gorgeous little prep as well. The next one, found actually on the same day. Something I don't talk about finding at Ravenscar, but probably should, is there are marine reptiles in and amongst this stuff. And here, it's a little vertebra. Probably a little Ichthyosaur vert looking at it. So this would be the bottom, and then it comes up to the top. Obviously it needs some prep just to get all of the shale off the outside of it, but I'd say that's a pretty good find. Nice. Is this beautiful little thing. You can actually see, whoop, there's a little hole through the middle. That's how thin these centra, or yeah, the body of these vertebrate centra get. They get really, really thin, and if there isn't much there, often a little bit of shale, they can go through. This one is found from probably much lower down in the sequence. I say much lower down as far as Ravenscar is concerned, probably very similar in age to most of the things you'd find in the upper Lias across the rest of the Yorkshire coast. But if you know what I was saying about the shape of the vertebra, we've got the top here. This would be where the neural arch would go, so spinal cord would be running to the top up here where my finger is. But these two little ridges that are down here now on the sides, they have moved from up top, where they were in the other vertebra down there, to the position down where my ring finger and thumb are. And that gives you an indication that this is likely from the caudal region, so the tail. And so quite a useful indication of where they are in the body. So a beautiful little prep, Sadly got a crack running through it, but it has held itself together just about, and hopefully it will continue to do so in my collection. Scrambling between the bays, haven't even put away the Grammo block, but I picked this one up, and this here is giving me bone vibes, and I think it might just be a little vertebra in one of these shelly blocks, which is quite an interesting find. I don't tend to find bone in them very often, so quite pleased with that, and that'll go in the bag straight away. The final one, also from Ravenscar, comes from probably the Grammo beds. Sadly, the bone here is probably a vertebra as well, but it is not a lot of it left, and I was hoping that there'd be a lot more in this block, because if you know the Grammo blocks, you tend to find lots of bits in them. There are lots of bits in it, but they're all shells, and so a lot of the little ones have been gently explored all the way around, but sadly nothing more of it turned out to be fossil bone, just that one little vertebra sticking on top. I asked them to prep it and polish it down and make it look pretty, because again, it's unusual to find bone in the Grammo beds or above, so having this one from the Grammo beds and this earlier one from possibly even higher than the Grammo beds is quite unusual and quite rare. So that's all of the bone that I've got to show off, and so big thanks to Emmanuel Prep and Alison Park in particular for the prep on those. They're absolutely gorgeous, and would recommend you sending them off if you've got any bone of your own. Yeah, that cat, I didn't get it all the way down, but it's now small enough that I can put it in my bag and not feel too bad about carrying it. So this here is a beautiful little Catacileras found not long ago at Ravenscar. Goes all the way down to the middle. So it's a beautiful little one. I've got some prep to do to probably give it a flat base, smooth this down, but it should stand quite nicely and proudly on its own. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the prep level, seeing I haven't done an awful lot in the last 6 months. And one final thing that doesn't have a before, or at least not an easy to find before, there will be in one of the videos somewhere. This one, when I found it, it was just a little bit of the edge sticking out like that. Also from Ravenscar. The shape of the middle makes me think it's a Pseudolioceras litense rather than a bulbiense, but there is another species that I don't know particularly well. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the level of my prep at the minute. There's still some work to do, obviously, to finish off the edges and smooth things off to make it look that sort of pro level. But as far as the Ammonite itself is concerned, I think I'm doing not too bad. So that's all from me today. I hope you've enjoyed this brief video of a few fossil finds from Ravenscar, and yeah, we'll be back with you hopefully fairly soon.